my goal here is to give you a little bit of an overview of how a critique group can benefit you. Our first critique was a red challenge from the Quilts on the Wall president. We were to use only reds and one neutral, from pale to saturated, cool to warm, light to dark, approximately 12 by 12, and at least 6 fabrics of red. The difficulties in working in a small format for me required me to use smaller pieces than I normally am used to. This meant I had to go back and double cut or fracture cut previously sewn units as I was designing and putting them up on the design wall. They just were too big for the scale of the piece. I was working approximately about 14 inches. I had to also keep in mind that I needed to provide rest areas as well as to keep the eye moving through the piece using either repetitive shapes, repetitive colors, actual textures to bring your eye and pull it around. This can be done with your fabric selection as well as adding your stitches. The things I had to remember were the scale of the pieces I was using, both in the actual size of the block or grid, but also the scale of the fabric print. Remembering to repeat my colors and bring an integrated look through either the color or line work that was going into the piece. An interesting thing that came out of the critique group when we were in the actual group and we had several of the artists showing their work was that you cannot marry yourself to an orientation, especially if you are working in an abstract format, which these were. You have to rotate your work and see if there's an orientation that works better for pulling the eye through your piece or setting up a more restful or more energetic, depending on what you are trying to portray in your work. Remembering the goal or the focus of your piece is also very important. If you want something restful, you would want a more horizontal design flow. If you wanted something more energetic, you would have vertical or diagonal flow across your piece. That gives movement and energy. The two red pieces shown are mine and David's. I hope you enjoyed looking at them and seeing something in them that sparks a design concept or a desire to try a small piece of your own and work in